of getting an education and doing all the things that they say we're supposed to do, they have the network. We have the network like they have the network. So I would say network and acts, and you ought to consider. Well, I'm not going to ask you how to run your space, but when I look at that question, I'm like it should be, what can immigrants do? What can the illegal immigrants do that we can't do? Because
Well,
they get a lot of
so
benefits. They get a
so
lot of stuff. They get to break the law, a lot of stuff. But anyway, yeah, I'll add that, and then I would say another one other thing I'm gonna add in here. This is like a little joke, but it's you got to say it though. So what can white people do
book. That's time to unlearn to relearn.com. Time to unlearn to relearn.com. I am not your black. Listen up. This is Joe. I have to admit, I didn't know where this was going to go. I didn't know, I was looking forward to hearing the answers and what was going to come out. But I have to admit, this turned out a little better than I expected. And then we really got an answer. It was probably the best answer to the question up here. So I really appreciate it.
I think everybody else can agree that answer was probably one of the better answers that we've heard all night. Absolutely. It was, he poised it right. I mean, I feel like a judge that's sitting here with a score, and we all supposed to hold up a score and then talk about all the different parts of how dope his answer was. Yes, he poised it right. He used proper English. He yeah, I mean, but yeah, that was definitely some good answers. That probably wraps it up. But at the same time, even with the thought of that, again, we ain't trying to do that. We about peace and love. You know what I mean? We're not savages. We didn't come from that. That's not in our bloodline. It's not in our lineage outside of, I mean, I know, we had the tribes and we were tribal and we, they both, nobody was, well, I mean, I don't know. Can we say?
Hey, we got a new hand. We got a new hand up. Haven't spoken yet. Let's go to the hand who hasn't spoken yet.
Let's go. Waksabe.
Waksabe, please address the title, and then you can move from there.
Oh God! So to address the title, so what have white people done that black people can't?
No, what can white people do that black people can't?
There you go, that one. Yeah, nothing. So actually,
bam!
Very lazy.
He might have gave the best answer all night.
Nothing. So, they actually went on record saying that they don't want to work and that that they'd rather have us do it. They're laziest people on the face of the planet. Not only are they lazy, but most people are just mulling over in history. When you go to school, you learn about the Great Migration, right? It's mulling over this part of history. These people actually came here exiled from their country. Exiled. Their country's IQ jumped up like 5 points. Not, man, being generous, or maybe I'm not, man, being sarcastic, but I'm saying these same dumbasses they kicked out of their country is in our country right now telling us how to think. Hey, I don't know about you, but me, I feel like that's extremely insane. Like, we fought in every war. We molded this country into what it was during a great what's called not the great the Reconstruction period. And then they brought over these motherfuckers who was kicked out of their country who were whores. They're insane. They're prisoners. They brought them over here. And then these motherfuckers colluded with the Confederate people who were terrorists to our country. And then fucked up our country in it. You know what I'm saying? To me, I'm a little, excuse my passion, but I'm a little fucking flustered. How the fuck these people come here? And now they're telling us how to think, feel, and do. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? That part. And I'm going to land my plane there.
Yeah, he missed the
yeah, he missed
the
first introduction.
where we try to trim cuss words down just a little bit. You know what I mean?
Well,
It ain't a big deal, but you know, just
since you
try.
you wasn't here, so we let you to, you got them all in. I mean, you might have covered every cuss word that was out there. You got that one in so good.
What can black people do that white
Man.
people can't? Cuss good.
Right.
We cuss way better.
we curse way better. Yeah, way better. Way better. Yeah, way better. Okay, they cannot do that at all.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, I mean,
Anybody
really
else
enjoy.
want to come up and address that title? And we can get into some other conversation. This title has been fun, a little bit lighter.
Yeah, it was just a
little bit lighter of a title today.
Yeah, lighter than what's been going on. I'm thank you, Joe, for that. Was very astute of
I
you.
think we needed that. We needed.
Yeah, we did, man. Everybody been.
There's been a lot going on
heavy
with this TK thing. So
yeah,
why don't we just kind of, again, my bigger thing that I really love talking about more than anything is forward movement, progression, solutions, again, forward movement. Because I think part of the problem of us for hundreds of years is how often we get stuck in the noise. We get stuck talking about all this nonsense that don't mean nothing in your everyday ability to get up, go out, conquer, and become great.
Exactly.
I like that ideology because of exactly what's going on right now, which is me trying to bring light to those two brothers that was just hung in Mississippi over the past 24 hours.
Is it two? I thought it was just one.
No, there was another brother that was 36 years old, found in Vicksburg, hanging from a tree as well, shortly after the one discovery of the 21-year-old.
There's actually three.
Three? Oh, wait a minute.
A white boy was the last one. It happened yesterday.
Oh, so hold on. It was two brothers and then one white boy?
Yeah, I'm not informed. I've been getting the drop on this on the Caucasian that's been put in the same situation, but right now, my focus has been more on the two brothers because I know that the Caucasian situation is a part of the scheme. Like, it's like, come on, bro. In the history of hangings, when the fuck have we ever heard of a white boy being hung?
Well, I mean, maybe there's some.
Come on, let's not do the maybe. Let's not.
Well, no, I'm just saying maybe some brothers are fighting back.
Okay, true, and I give them, but not that fast because the news is so fresh that even like where the areas of this stuff is happening is no time for the average local to be able to respond that quickly because nobody even has the true facts of what the fuck went on outside to the forensic spectacles. You know what I'm saying? Like the forensics ain't even said yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's just we got the authorities confirming they seen men hanging right now, and I'm just like, okay.
Oh man, that is interesting.
To let us even take the accountability that we fighting back that quickly, bro, that's a bad look. I don't even want to say that we jumped a gun. Look, they just killed their own Charlie Kirk or whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? So why wouldn't they hang one of their own just to make it seem like we're trying to get back at them? But these folks do wicked shit.
It was weird.
So right now, the progression is where I'm like, because of the mindset being so stabilized into this pattern and normalizing it all the way up to 2025, where do we now progress that mindset forward into affirmative action that addresses this crime against humanity so it no longer happens?
I'm thinking like we need to have our own private detective agencies, our own websites that they put up that website to collude with
counterintelligence is cyber now, brother. They're not going to allow us to do that. They're going to.
It's not an allowing thing. It's I think you can actually go to school for, get certified for, and then go into. It's not an allowance thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like a certified thing. Wait, you just cut me off. Give me a second. Let me finish my thought. Then jump in. So we can we can come together and investigate these things ourselves privately through private detectives, private investigations, independent investigations outside of the state through private detectives. And then as far as that white boy goes and that thing that you want to move past to, but there has been instances in our history where white boys have actually stood up, even from the slums, because even Fred Hampton, excuse me for butchering his name, Fred Hampton also enlisted these people from the slums of their community to get into it. So I'm thinking that he a casualty of war, and that's what's going on in our country, and where it's about our attention need to be on it, because it can happen anywhere, anytime. So stay safe, keep your head on swivel, and keep your power tools ready. And I'll land.
You know,
Wakanda
it's
forever.
interesting. It's interesting when I hear that, because I always want to ask somebody, like, when did we start just sacrificing to keep your head on the swivel? They're out here hanging people. Like, when did we just submit to letting that be a societal norm within our, communities? Like, oh, well, now anybody can just get hung, so it is what it is. Like, we're not.
That's not a submission. That is an inherent
Stay on your mic, Stay on your mic.
Stay on your mic.
Hold on.
Let him.
Stay on your mic and let him land. Go ahead, King.
Thank you. Because I worked in healthcare with the U.S. Navy as a hospital corpsman, and I've talked to a lot of psychiatrists about, like, the mind and how it works, and how a person's supposed to react to certain thing, and how powerful desensitization is, right? But one of the things I've had to actually admit to is, like, of all the things they're diagnosing and pandemics they're causing, desensitizing is a major pandemic happening right now, where people can't even psychologically say, okay, this is not supposed to happen. And the funny thing is, the primary targeted group for this specific loss of life is the Black community, our community, straight up. Like, no other community can say that and speak to the witness of what we've had put in history books about us, all the way back to the beginning of times of this country, all the way currently to today. We hold the only forefront in the Western world with the most lynchings to our community's name, and not one person in society is taking the foot forward to literally say we should rehabilitate the minds of those who participated, those that were victimized, and those that had to even observe, you know what I'm saying, or witness such an atrocity committed by people, right? And that's what I was saying. Like, when we're talking about progression in 2025, we're sitting at a point where we lost a 21-year-old. That's youth. I'm 35, so when we lose a 21-year-old, that's a brother that didn't even get a chance to see what could be coming. We lost a 36-year-old. That's a brother that's trying to figure it out in his prime, and we all know what that's like. And the best we've come up with mentally in the helping of this is stay on your feet. Think about that. Like, the more, and I'm gonna land here. The craziest thing I had to tell people this morning is we're the only community that literally has to raise our children with the understanding that people walk around society okay with us being hung and hanging us and calling the police to actually murder us. We're the only society that has to prepare ourselves as Black men to wake up, walk out a door prepared to create a shield of ignorance to a society that calls themselves our neighbors, because we don't know what man next door to us carries animosity, you know what I'm saying, against us, and never tells it publicly. We're the only group of people that has to operate like that.
I'm telling you, this guy sounds like he's progressively trying to get us to
Hold on.
Let him land.
Let this man talk. Let him finish.
Let him land.
Yeah, I'm gonna land on that last note with the understanding that we're here in 2025 with very few of us actually grasping the reality that we are truly waking up, and we've desensitized ourselves to humanity's efforts of living normally, where everybody else wakes up and thinks about a normal cup of coffee. We have to wake up, think about the cup of coffee and who wants to ruin our day, and how we're going to go about making sure that that doesn't happen. that is not a normality in society. And there's no doctor or psychiatrist that'll say you should have to experience that daily as a human being just to survive. Like, and that's the part. So I'm gonna land
Can I
with that.
talk now?
Hold tight, Walk. Hold tight. Meshawn, did
And
you
just
have
remember too, we do
Meshawn,
raise hands here.
Meshawn, did you have something to say?
Yeah. I want to say, listen up. You may not, I know y'all go to these other spaces, but we believe in allowing people, no matter what they say, all right, they are allowed to speak their truth. You will come here and be able to speak your truth, okay? And if anybody gonna attack anybody, it's gonna always come from the host, co-hosts, not nobody else, okay? You can maybe make a comment, but nobody gets, everybody here, I treat everybody here thinking you're a guest to our space. I protect my guests. That's the type of person. You come in my house, you visit my house, you're protected. Okay. So
Yeah, ain't
go
nobody
ahead.
sitting out 200 yards ready to snipe you because you speaking whatever you want to say.
Right. You can
And
speak your truth
understand
here,
too,
right?
raise your hand. That's
Yeah.
the better way to go. You got 3 co-hosts here. They can interject at any point. But raise your hand. If you want to speak, just raise your hand. And we go in order. It's real simple. All right.
Go
Who's
ahead,
up next?
Go ahead, Queen B, and then Walk.
Who was that just spoke? And I'm sorry because I'm in a spot in my house where it's really weird when I'm in spaces. I can't tell who's talking or anything.
King Wolf.
King Wolf. And King Wolf, did you just say that we're the only group that wakes up in the morning and has worries about what's going to happen to us during the day? Did you say that?
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm sorry. You talking about like people coming after us, or could you? I'm sorry. I'm just kind of asking you to just clarify that.
Yeah, microaggressive mentalities in a society that cooperates normally with everybody else.
Okay. Well, I would just disagree with that, and that's respectfully. I guess why would you think that we're the only ones, or how would you know that?
Just if you look at the history of atrocities that's happened to our community, I mean, we're the only ones that currently in modern society deal with the police force being called against us rather than for us. We're the people today speaking on brothers being lynched. And nobody in society is actually raising a red flag. Our president doesn't even want to speak to the atrocity of brothers being lynched in 2025. I tell everybody that he was supposed to be selected for leadership, and we as a community are left when other people get CSI, the U.S.
Okay.
US
Queen
Navy.
B, go ahead and speak because he already made his statement a while ago. We don't want to go back over it again.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I get it. I get it.
Be brief with your answers, King. If Queen asks you a question, be very brief with your answer.
Yeah, I would just say, because a lot of times, we speak in these terms as if we're a monolith. And I guess there is an overall sentiment that we are targeted, and I don't doubt that. I guess, though, for me, though, when I get up, I don't have those kind of worries. I'm a Black female. However, I do think about my son. He lives in Dallas, Texas, and I do think about him. But me, myself, I just don't. For some reason, I just don't. I have my faith for one, so I don't have those type of worries. But I guess, again, we're not all a monolith, and I guess people have different concerns and different worries in their lives. And I would also say to that what are we doing about that? What are we doing about that worry? And this is where I would say this is where we have to be solution oriented. If that is a strong sentiment within our community, that's even more reason why we need to be politically engaged. We need to be running for office. We need to be doing more than just being regular everyday citizens, but we need to be trying to change those things, particularly when it comes to the criminal justice system and all of these areas. That's where we just can't sit back and just be at the whim of somebody else, like what I mean? There has to be some control that we can take over our lives and in changing those justice systems that we know are so unfair to us. And even like, on the job, I know stuff happens. People have stress and they have concern. And it does seem like sometimes on the job, we feel like we have to work extra hard or we have to do more than our white counterparts. So I get you. Like I said, I wanted to make sure I got caught the nuances in what you were saying as well. I'll land. Thank you.
Okay. Wak Save, your turn, and then John Ya.
Yeah, thank you for putting my name in the right, pronouncing it the right way. So, forgive me for my little hiccup there. You know what I mean? So, to me, it's puzzling to me is that how are people coming into our spaces and don't know, like we have this underlying community who speak to each other in unspoken rules, and I get it, like that's not normal, but how are people missing that we are at war? We have been at war since the Civil War. Through our Reconstruction period, right after the Civil War, they started dumping 33 million immigrants into our country. And they have undermined us in every step of our way, even to this very day. Like the white arm say so stuff. Like they put out all this, I don't want to babble, but I'm saying, like, to me, some of these people that, one speaker that came up and kind of sound like he ain't from us, because we know that we are at war and that we don't have to tell each other online what the war is, how we're going to do it. It sounds like you're fishing to see how, to me, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it's a different feeling to y'all, but to me, it sounds like it's fishing for intel, to me. I'm gonna lay in there.
Okay, John, did you want to have something to say?
Peace, everyone. I was just listening. Very interesting topic here. What can white people do that black people can't? Now, the topic is definitely a broad subject. I can tell where it was going by listening to it. And it seems like there was a lot of grasp for straws to figure that one out. And that was good, because you had, a brother coming back with had some more stuff that he had on the list, right? So at least we're thinking about that subject. Queen B, I definitely love what you had mentioned at the end. Very profound. I think someone mentioned the word nothing. And I said, wow, he gets it, right? So, thank you, Mishan, and y'all for inviting me. Me and Joe always kicking it back and forth with some interesting stuff. So that's my partner. But one of the things I want to share is what I want to do. I want to share. I ain't here to knock anyone's understanding or none of that. I think everyone's here is very intelligent. Definitely, I heard a lot. I was just kind of listening, and very engaging. So I just want to share this with y'all. And so I'm not going to ask a question, but it may seem like a question, but and I would love to know the answer. But then that will kind of make me stop where I'm going to before I can finish out and close out. But you got to understand something. I think everyone knows that your belief shapes your reality, and what you are seeing, what you are experiencing at this moment, your belief. If there's something you believe, you are right. You're 100% right because you believe it. And it appears to validate it to you. That's how life is. Okay? So this is why we have differences. And like the sister said, we're not a monolithical people, because we all have different experiences that shapes our reality, period. And this is something that deals with when it deals with people trying to come together collectively, becomes practically impossible. Someone pointed out about the word why are we concerned? Why would we be concerned about what we can't get or no, comparing ourselves? That's what I heard. That was profound. So why are we even comparing ourselves? Because actually, you as an individual is responsible for you, and no one else is responsible for you. You came to this world like everyone else. You came to fighting through the womb to get to that egg, and you fought other sperms to get here. You don't know all the acid and all the stuff you had to do to get here. Once you are here, you're already a winner. So now you in a game. This is a whole game. You better learn this game because you in a simulated game, and you can pick any hat you want. You can be a lawyer, you can be a doctor, you can be a business person. You can engage in any way you want in this life. The universe, God himself gave you that right. So if you're telling me that there is someone that can stop you from achieving your goals, that tells me that you don't know why you're here. Because God gave everyone a specific gift to share with humanity. The problem is you're so busy being distracted, you don't know what that gift is. Because we are attracted to the noise. There's two things about people when you talk about people and being successful, which is all you want to kind of really do. You want to check some points while you're here, right? There's some points you want to check. I want to be successful. I want to be rich. I want to be respected. I want to be a husband, wife. I want to have kids. You check some points that you want it, right? And you go after them. Okay, so you get the same game as everyone else. So the question is, what are you doing with your same 24 hours everyone else gets? Because I know millionaires, and I know a lot of people who are billionaires who have gained access to wealth many different ways, even including myself and where I came from. And Joe Michon knows my story of how I came and where I came from to achieve his foot on our necks, and he's holding us from achieving, right? So the thing about this is that you got to understand what is the I'll come up with ideals, and no one can stop me. No one can stop the gift God gives me to share with humanity. I don't get it. The question is asking you, what gift are you working on to share with humanity? Do you have one? Everyone's got one. You don't know you do? Look around you. Just look around you, wherever you are, on this podcast, on your phone, in a chair. You know, everything around you came from someone's mind before it came into this reality. Have you created anything and put it out there in the world and let the universe share it with everyone else? Whatever it is you want, you vibrate to you. If you're thinking about a red chair, you're gonna start seeing red chairs. If you're thinking about police brutality, and that's what you believe, everywhere you turn on television, here it comes, right? If you believe in love, love's gonna come. If you think about fighting all goddamn time, I guarantee you somebody gonna hit you in the mouth. Or you gonna hit somebody else in the mouth because of your anger. So you attract whatever you are. You can attract whatever you want to attract. The white man can't stop you. This is a gift from God. And the question becomes, when someone's kind of being disingenuous, as I kind of heard when we're talking about the reality of not people as a group, but an individual as a person. So I'll give you an example. When this question is put to hand, we all start grabbing for the straws to answer that question, which is good because what that means is you're thinking about that subject, but you didn't apply it to yourself as an individual. Because if you see something stopping you from feeding yourself, feeding your family, creating a family, I'm going to tell you something. That means that you don't know the gift. Because if you knew the gift, you would spend most of your time working on the gifts and not be thinking about what you think someone is stopping you from achieving. Because, see, there are some people listen to the noise. 90% of us listen to the noise. There's a small percentage of us listen to the signal. What is the noise? Everything that you're hearing, everything that's distracting you. Come on, look at yourself. What are you watching on TV? What are you strolling on the phone every time you're? How much you spend most of your time doing after later, you actually saw it. You know that was that was the gift. It's that you didn't work on it and somebody else did. Praying. But themselves. Give it to you, then I'm gonna land right here, right? So when you're born, your first at your last breath when you die, when you loved ones, your family, your mother, sister, daughter, the ones that you are leaving here. At your last breath, you ain't gonna be studying none of this bullshit. Go here of the breathing. And guess what? In between the two is nothing. Between the I could have achieved so much, but
That's what I'd like a space to be.
Because we as
Huh?
foundational Black Americans know the struggle. We've been fighting it for decades, and people like him came in our country and had a handout and stole.
You know, speak. Go ahead. I want to hear what you're saying. You're
I want to
saying
hear what you mean to tell me you got something rebuttal on what John
no. I
Yah
mean,
just
it
said?
sounded like he was saying that John Yah is not an American. Is what it sounded like.
Yeah, I know.
Who
Oh,
was it
okay.
anyway? I don't even know
That
who it
was
was.
Walk
Process and understand. That's what I see a lot of is a bunch of emotional pansies. This is the result of years of kids not having men in their lives, and then you have years later of women thinking they don't need men, and He studied law, the Constitution, in order to overcome his own trials, bruh. You'd be like, wow. So,
Hey, Joe.
Go ahead.
Hey, hey, Joe. Just sorry. I got a new brother. Who, I know the hands up, but he hasn't spoken. No. This brother hasn't spoken. He's a guest. He hasn't spoken yet. The only reason I'm going to his hand, he hasn't spoken yet. So go ahead and bless me with your. Yeah, Professor.
Professor Hood, go ahead, bro.
Thanks. I appreciate it. I appreciate that, follower. Definitely appreciate the mic.
What's up, Sean?
Hey, man. Still trying, man. Still trying. You know, hey. I mean, people expect the failure, but that's what we expect. You know, the people to think. But as long as we try, we can try to make something happen. But I wanted to ask Jaya some. Definitely interest me, and I want to know the natural resources, or do you actually have, like, a lot of black people that's actually making a it's sort of on that line. I want to know, do you actually gather the natural resources, like yourself, like to get your products made, far as though you say you were an inventor, you have patents.
No, okay, let me give you a little bit about my company, where we package our own brand of incense, paraphernalias, and oils and types, right? And so I service over 400 accounts, 400 stores throughout Louisville, Lexington, and Cincinnati. Now, so we come up with different fragrances, we come up with different ideals, certain names, right? But I'm also a patent owner of a car, to make something, and where to get information from. Boom, I got you. I can help you out with information to help you get products if you want. I can source where you can find it, because one of the things that I do best is help companies or help individuals package their brand, right? So I'm open for that. If you're interested,
Be extended to you, okay? I would take that serious, because he doesn't do that with everybody. All right, so okay, around him, and he got good heart. He got good intention. He's very passionate and very passionate. Sean, I can say that, but very passionate.
I can tell you this. You can, always go. John and I used to have a show together, the Tipping Point Show. You can check it out on Facebook. You can check it out on Instagram. You can check it out on YouTube. You can see clips, and there we show our faces there because we're not Fred. So with that in mind, you can check out any with all of those multiple ways. There's so many ways to reach out, but just the same, of course, right here, direct message, you can hit him up and he will holler back at you. So with that in mind,
now, Joe.
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna go
appreciate
ahead
that
and
a
I'm gonna
lot, though. Definitely, man. Because
absolutely,
based off what he
I'm gonna
said
drop
about the
some
noise, real
information
fast.
in the blue pill as well for anybody to check out. So who's up next, Carl?
Okay, okay. Let Professor
I wanted to say something real fast.
let Professor speak to the title. What can white people do that black people can't?
What can they do that black people can't? Man, I mean, what can they do? I mean, we could do pretty much way more than them. I mean, they actually hijacked a lot of the things that, like I say, we built it. They ain't do nothing but just come in and decorate and then lie and say that they built it. So it's just a lot of BS what they talking about. I just want to say it one last thing off of what John just said about the noise. I was told that I was ahead of the curve, before the pandemic, during the pandemic, and this was by a lot of business-minded people. And I was sounding out the noise and trying to get our people to sound out the noise, for a long time. And there's a lot of other things going on based off of us sounding out that noise and understanding that we definitely got to become a force, far as though a lot of labor and inventions in our ideas and being in control of our natural resources. So I'm gonna let them hands go because I want to talk to you about something like that.
Okay, King Wolf and then Queen Bee.
I appreciate it, and I'm probably jot down the listeners after this little submission. To Queen Bee's point earlier, us being targeted was proven by the FBI in 1967 when they created the counterintelligence program and said that any black man or woman that's educated is a threat to the American people. That's when we became targeted. And did we ever get a full, transparent statement from any government or federal bureau investigation official that said they aren't studying us or anything we try to do to organize? And wouldn't that be the reason why it seems like it's almost impossible for us to get organization to happen in this community? Because who's to say that they did it once, they would never do it again? And let's talk about the KKK, who targeted our community, right? That's real. And when they targeted our community, did anybody say that they have been dismantled in 2025? Did we ever get a green light, a full-fledged clearance that the KKK no longer exists in America? Because we're seeing the same hangings that the KKK used to do before I was alive. And this is where somebody was speaking about beliefs, right? I don't believe in Christianity because there's no way Christianity could exist and allow somebody to think hanging other individuals is an act of God, right? And that's what allows me to be agnostic. And my belief is in truth, which is why I speak where many don't. And because I believe in truth, I say certain things that offend a lot of others, like the fact that truth can't be dictated by age. Unfortunately, fit and fortunate, it's just about who's built to be the most transparent. And we live in a society where there's a huge lack of transparency and a demand for delusion, right? And the only reason why I speak to this is because since I was 17, I was responsible for people's ability to stay alive and think proper as a teenager, where the average teenager is smoking weed, going to college, trying to figure it out. I'm working in the military, trying to get my college paid for because I come from a poor ass region in the United States that wasn't letting niggas make it, right? So I find it concerning when the discussion is drawn up about the reality of white supremacy and the acts of white supremacy and what people choose to do to certain groups targeting, right? I find it also disappointing at my age that there's so many people that loathe in their financial freedom to the aspect that they ignore how real it is on certain aspects of culturalism. has nothing to do with finance. It's just cultural. This is all cultural issues where everybody else's culture is not only allowed to enjoy financial freedom, but cultural freedom as well, right? And what we try to do as a community is express our cultural freedom through finances, which is the most retarded thing ever because you have white people that use privilege. That's a cultural freedom that they express regularly, right? And they talk about it, they emphasize on it, and they let other people understand it. And it doesn't cost them a penny. The worst people in the
Okay,
world, the white
land your
people
plane,
using
King Wolf, and then Queen B is next.
Oh man, y'all got to go on for like 10 minutes
Okay, King.
uninterrupted.
Okay, you're
Hey,
being repetitive, but go ahead and land your plane.
I mean, how am I being repetitive on? This is my first time speaking since the first time I answered the question initially.
Well, go
This
ahead
is a
and
bias.
speak and land your plane. Again, John is a special guest of the show. But go ahead and speak, land your plane.
Right. So, the thing that I'm actually getting at is where at my age, where I've lost more brothers and sisters listening to elders, right? And when I'm transparent about it, the elders tend to make it seem like at 35 years old, I'm just as ignorant to them as the same white folks that don't understand that I worked in healthcare with doctors that would tell me for soldiers, this isn't okay through the United States government. And they wouldn't allow this, right? And what I'm speaking to is, again, we were speaking on progression and what can white people do that black people can't. Remember, my answer that got me awarded a book was that white people can commit crimes against humanity, something our community doesn't even talk about in totality. So when I speak on it truthfully, then everybody's saying I'm being repetitive. When it's like, how am I being repetitive? Something we barely talk about. We barely talk about how we're okay with the crimes against our humanity. But again, I'll just land because I feel rushed.
hey, let me just speak to you, let you understand something, bro. John Yah is a friend to the show, but I was the one that jumped and acknowledged because, brother, you're wrong. I've been talking about humanity, Joe. Am I right? Am I right, Carl? I have taken a butt whipping coming here because that was the first thing I said. I'm not the title of my book. I'm not your black.
And you share a lot of it through your military experience as a surgical technologist in
I'm
the
a retired
military.
military guy. So the reason why you're just so you understand, I want you to come here thinking you so special and unique. You unique, but brother, you weren't the first one talking about humanity. Okay, that's why I acknowledge you, because you actually connected with something that I had already been talking about. So I heard something in your tone as if you something very unique, and you special, okay? But you haven't said anything that others has not said either, okay? And so I acknowledge your humanity conversation because I too have said the same thing, okay? So I just wanted to let you know that.
And when we do speak
Go ahead.
humanity, we speak humanity first.
Yes.
And I don't know if the brother was talking just humanity of melanated folk in America.
Yeah. I don't know if they're but we talk about
Right.
humanity
We talking
trumps.
Yeah.
Humanity trumps. If you got if you could fight for your humanity, don't let no one. Let no one. That's what John y'all was talking about too. Let no one stand between your creator and your humanity to exist. You only got two breaths: the breath that you come in with and the one you're gonna die with. How you rolling in between that? That's your humanity. And when if you allow other people to tell you about your humanity, that's not their fault. That's your fault. Okay. And I'm just trying to tell people that stop blaming other people for your failure to get your humanity right. It's your responsibility. All right. Sorry about my passion, but one thing I do with this show here, I like to attack stuff because I don't want nobody leaving out here with no false understanding that you didn't get something here. You got something here that you can take with you and do something with, and maybe come back because we only here Tuesday, Wednesday. take home with you. You ain't just getting a lot of noise and everybody whining and crying. They're like, you're going to get something here, and it's going to go with ain't no
or rebuttal, or nor am I trying to take the conversation elsewhere. But you mentioned reparations, and it's never going to happen, and to that effect. And that's not the first time I've heard that argument. But what I would say about reparations is that, number one, it's not a handout; it is justice. So I would never tell someone or a group of people who is due justice to stop fighting for it. And secondly, I would say that we can walk and chew gum at the same time. So it's not that people are just sitting around, or I would say the majority of people are just sitting around like, oh gosh, I'm waiting for reparations. I believe people are getting on about their lives and they're still doing the things that they have to do, but they're still seeking justice. So I just would ask you to consider that thought process. And I'll land. Thank you.
I guess I don't mind responding, but that's not what I said. Actually didn't say that. However, my point is that you as an individual, God has already given you what you're doing. Listen to this for a second, okay? Where is the point of life? Is it what you think's coming? Or is it what you think happened? Because see, if where you are right now is the point of life, then this moment, momentarily, and to the next moment and the next moment. So my point is that when we think we're asking for something and looking for something, we only keep looking. And that's the point. I get cut off. And that's the point, is that if you look for your gift, look inside. Talking about reparations is a distraction from your gift. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, if you get it, fine, that's cool. Not saying they won't give you something. And I did not say that anything about being the victim piece. I would just say this, is that your gift is in you. Reparations is something you gotta go ask for. God already given it to you. Whatever you got is what you're gonna get, and you ain't gonna get no more. And whatever you don't have, and that's just how it is. Whatever God gives you is yours. That's the only point I'm making. If you believe it, it is true in your life. You are absolutely right. You deserve reparation. That's all I'm saying is that you're gonna miss momentarily of life, thinking that you're gonna get a prize. And to then what? Only to realize you're there again? That's all I'm saying.
Okay, well, I understand. I appreciate your opinion on that. But like I said, this is about justice. That's what it is. It's about justice. So that's how I look at it. And do you stop fighting for justice? Yeah, I'm blessed. I have a lot of things, but that doesn't mean I don't fight for something that I believe in, especially if it comes to justice. So I believe that two things can be true at the same time. And again, I believe you can walk and chew gum. So that's all I'm saying. But I appreciate your opinion. I'll let you move your conversation on. Like I said, I didn't want to take it another direction, but I felt like I had to respond to that.
Hold tight. Joe, drop Charlie.
No, Carl knows.
Okay. Hey, Queen Bee, I want to let you know there's a terminology that I use because I believe reparation has its own problem in itself, just the word itself. Okay.
I agree.
And And so here's a word. I don't think you've been in these spaces with me. Everybody know when I speak about this, I use a different word. Okay. And I want to see if you see the power in this word. Okay. So when I think about it, because I've already received my inheritance, okay, multiple times. See, when I say the word inheritance, I'm speaking about what my ancestors has already done, and then I'm tapping in that they have already the state already sold. The frequency is already in the air. It's already there. Are you tapping into it? Are you tapping into it to receive your inheritance? And if you thinking that only your inheritance comes from the United States of America, then you're really limiting yourself in who God is. Okay, your inheritance can come from multiple places if you're paying attention. Okay, so I like using the word inheritance, okay? Because when I think about inheritance, okay, and there's multiple ways of inheritance. There's the business side of inheritance, which is business. There's a business understand. There's the spiritual side of inheritance and everything. And it's an inheritance that you pass on leaving to your own family because you done everything you need to do and you want your children to live different than you and you passing on the inheritance to them. So the word inheritance is powerful when you think about and you apply it and you think and you see uh, the fruits that's in it. So I just want to drop that in there.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool too. I mean, either, but again, I'm talking about justice. That's it.
Sure, yeah, no.
That's all I'm talking about. I'm talking about. I'm talking about. If you do justice, you have you can make.
Really, the whole idea of reparations, it's cool if we get it, great. But we don't want people to get stuck there because that's where a lot of conversation gets stuck.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm not a proponent of getting stuck. So that's why I said, don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm just saying that you can walk and chew gum at the same time. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely.
That's all I'm saying.
Let's get to the head.
Or Trident.
What was the first option I had?
Bubblicious.
I'll take Bubblicious.
Okay.
All right.
Coming for that check, and that was based off of the government, actually undermining the Black American people and for the white working collar class of people, and then it went to them actually sending our jobs and stuff like that overseas. But I wanted to ask a question as far as though, like, what do we do when we are dealing with certain injustices, where we could actually partner up to actually pin these people from overseas that's actually still doing a lot of undocumented business with illegal product, because the white people is getting theirs, going to try to get theirs based off of the clothing line that they're doing illegally. And when we got our Black people trying to attach to certain projects that actually get us in line with being in control of making production or products for the production line, and getting our natural resource talks away from these people who are in control of the natural resources to make the products. So what do we do to actually come together to really get a law and order type of lawsuit, so we could get more of our people, tied towards getting products done?
let me say this, Professor. There is a young brother who is building an infrastructure for our people, and it's called Freeman Nation. This Freeman Nation, you can go to freemannation.org. It has a three-pronged approach. Number one, it deals with genealogy to find your ancestor, to find your ancestry that's tied to slavery. Once you find your ancestor, institutions, organizations that have benefited off of our people, and we are going after those people to contribute to that trust for the verified freedmen. Just think about this. The NAACP was started by Jews along with W.E. Du Bois. We have the Urban League, and we have other what they call legacy organizations. If you check out all those organizations earlier about this thing called minority, the Civil Rights Act of 1964 lumped us into a new status called minority. Our status is freemen. That delineates us from every other people group. And all the resources that were supposed to be going to our people would have specifically gone to our people if we have kept the freeman status. But our black progressive leaders,
Say it one more time. Say it
our
one more time,
our
Carl.
our black progressive leaders lined up with the white progressives and started this new status called minority. And we have been fighting for those resources for over 60 years. And our people, I'm hoping that we're waking up to understand we have to unplug from the color construct. It's okay if you want to use it socially. If you want to call yourself black, if you want to call yourself Negro, if you want to call yourself FBA, ADOS, whatever you want to call yourself socially. But politically and economically, the freedman status delineates us from every other people group, and we can demand our resources that were supposed to be allocated to us to the freedmen. And I land there. It's freedmen.
Pandemic. I called it a plandemic because I was working on projects before then. But it got interesting though because they laughed, at a Black American business, and they laughed at me asking for these people our endeavors. undermining us and our politicians. And we should hold all of our politicians from each state, each city we are at, accountable for this, because these agents and them are working each and every last city and state we are at. So this is a bigger issue when we have to partner up with each other as Black American businesses to actually combat this and stop them. And if they got the evidence and they are cracking them with using 50 trucks and millions of illegal vapes and things like that, that was tied towards the politicians' jobs too. And they stopped a Black American from partnering with the rest of our people to actually stand front line with stopping them from doing this type of things and take over the narrative with controlling our own resources and our own endeavor.
I want to let you be aware, okay? And I said it when Trump came up. I was already a conservative before. I took an ass whipping from folks who didn't understand why I was a conservative. I'm a businessman, and I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a capitalist. I'm about investment. And when Trump came up, I peeped that he was about to do something. I peeped him way before. I like, this dude is not a. He was going to shake up the traditional framework of what kept us separated from our inheritance. He wasn't talking about just Republicans. He wasn't talking about just Democrats. He was talking about the whole government game plan that has been destroyed. Neck and the debt and handle whose business? Our business, our opportunities that we were business. I don't want to hear the excuses that I don't want to hear it. I want to hear it. The opportunity for us is just wide open for us to just get on it. Okay. So Joe, know me longer than anybody else on here. I'll be the first to tell you. I didn't think what John, y'all, Joe, you know what we were saying. We were like, our people were hurting. We didn't like, I don't know what the hell gonna happen. We were just glad that we had our act together. We didn't know. But I'm telling you right now, I see so much more opportunity, and I'm glad that I'm able to see it before the good Lord takes me on home. And y'all don't have, I don't want to hear no excuses. I don't want to hear it. Okay.
Don't you think we're looking for a law and order and only criminal activity type of stuff, and we don't look far as though law and order and coming together?
Very good. In 2026, we gonna be something to deal with in 2026. Freeman status, okay. It's gonna be something.
And make sure that we speak to the fact that Freeman isn't just something that just came out the blue. This was our status before Lincoln was killed. When Andrew Johnson, the Democrat, who Lincoln was trying to be bipartisan, unfortunately, when Andrew Johnson and the Democrat crew had Lincoln killed, they took away that freedman status. But that was our legalized status. That was going to be our status here in America. And ultimately, the reason why.
Not a race, but a lineage.
Exactly.
That's the difference. Okay.
And when you start talking race, again, it's a box that they're trying to keep you because they know it was that was BS. Black,
Right.
white, slave class, elite.
All that was BS.
Bro, and we speak to that. We black fisted up, black power it up, but legally. I'm telling you, better get down or lay down.
Hey, with that being said,
I know about Freeman. I posted my book a long time ago and it went right. My people come from South Carolina, and our last names is Samuels and Alford, and we got the slave evidence. We got all our people documents for them the wars. We got all the birth certificates in the book and all types of things. But I just look at it like you could always speak race as far as though business, like because they made it a white racial construct, as far as though the
Right.
white collar, and that's always going to be around because they still talking about it today, with the Make America Great Again thing, and they speaking for the white people, and we can't do nothing about that because they saying that that's what's actually drive this economy. But when it comes to us talking about our people and our injustices, as far as though the other people that they added into it, we could talk race with that. So that's why I say we supposed to partner up and know who our people is.
Here's the deal. We're not talking race. We talking lineage. Okay. We got to get it. I don't know if you heard me say this before. We got to learn how to play the game.
We're talking status.
We want to run, go somewhere else. No, you play. You gotta play. You gotta beat people. And at the white man, looking at the white man, that we're not paying attention to the moves. I see it all the time. People, they so focused up here, looking all up here, and the moves is going on. And you don't even see. By the time you come back and look at it, you missed the moves. You missed the move. And you can't. That's the noise. Stop looking and stop it. Pay attention to their moves. Have y'all ever heard that people say, follow the money? Follow the money and you discover the
are attached. By Donald Trump, who came in and spoke out about this type of stuff. Game and the system is built off of, we're going to always say it's built off of slavery, and then they transformed it into the same type of patterns based off of the natural resources, the same slave trade line.
There was monies. There was a bank.
Yeah.
There was monies put aside. There was a bank.
We got
And
caught
when
up
they
in the noise.
assassinated Lincoln,
Yeah.
when they assassinated Lincoln, there was a Freeman Bank. When
So we're not gonna be here long. We're gonna be strong. We're gonna be intelligent, but we ain't gonna be long. So with that being said, in our show, y'all been participating in this. You get to come up and give your this
Question, just a simple question, and I'm good with it. Person would think that there's
Okay.
Start
create anything. Like,
Right.
you know what I
They ain't
mean?
that
They
smart.
don't create anything. Not that smart.
okay,
Now,
gentlemen.
absolutely.
I know, Carl.
They're making a last submission.
Go ahead,
Anybody else
Carl.
want to
Keep
come
us
up?
in line.
in our own creations, in our own gatherings. So
Okay.
that's definitely what I went in with.
Okay,
All right. Who else want to come up?
Wapsop.
If anyone has any doubts of what world anything is, phrases from all different types of people, that means one thing. What the hell we are. We aren't everybody. We're the life, blood, and breath. Show us the fruits of our labor, monument in every country around the fucking world. So when you talk about us, put some respect on it. I'm gonna leave it like that.
Hey, I appreciate it. You welcome here anytime you want to, young man. I
And
appreciate
remember,
you, man.
Earlier, why do we compare ourselves to white people? But anyway, let me land with this. The color construct started with white, black, red, brown, yellow. White and black disappear. We better get ahead of the curve and align ourselves with the status that we received when we were emancipated by this government. And then those who want then a verified freedman, and I land there.
And go and get it out and think about it. Yeah, you can hold on to it until tomorrow. Go ahead, Joe. Do what you do, bro. Appreciate you, man.
Hey, absolutely, man. I just want to thank everybody for the I Ain't Your Black show. This is a podcast that offers healing insights and epiphanies, discussing and reviewing everything others are afraid to talk about. It's all about what is right for us. I ain't your new black. I ain't your old black. I ain't your future black. America, I ain't you.
Get ready for I Ain't Your Black. This is the podcast that offers healing, insights, and epiphanies, discussing and reviewing everything others
We'll see
are
y'all
afraid
tomorrow.
to talk about. It's all about what is right for us. I ain't your... Get ready for I Ain't Your Black. This is the podcast that offers healing, insights, and epiphanies, discussing and reviewing everything others are afraid to talk about. It's all about what is right for us. I ain't your new black. I ain't your old black. I ain't your future black. America, I ain't your black. And now, the host of I Ain't Your Black, Mr. Just As Joe and Uncle Bishar.
Man, you love causing trouble.
Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other.
When black people wake up and become intellectually independent enough When black people wake up and become intellectually independent enough
Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other.